Hey folks, I'm in rare form and I don't record when I'm like this, but I try to tell a story because I had crazy dreams last night. Can't look at myself or else I'll laugh too hard. I'm gonna be saying some funny things, I think. I'm on natural medicine right now. Take that as you will. Every now and then I do it. It's good for my brain health and yours. Clinical studies have been done around how it can miraculously heal people of things like anxiety and depression. Email me if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Laughter is medicine. I was just sitting here feeling my whole universe like a meme where it's just like me cackling like a literal witch or a lunatic on the couch, my magical little world that I built around me like a hermit crab shell to remain safe in this hectic thing that's happening. And now I'm looking at the Buddhist wheel of life. Or whatever that is. I need to ask my dad and get clarity. But so I came on to share my dream from last night, and I said this in a post. Or no, I didn't. I'm sorry, because my first draft of that post that I put on the channel today got deleted accidentally. Sometimes, and I've never shared this, but like sometimes my stuff just gets deleted accidentally, and I always trust when that happens because I'm like, okay, this just took a lot of work to write, and I don't know what I said. And I'll try again if it feels worthwhile. But anyway, my dog in the dream, after I woke up at 4 a.m., I dreamed of him conversing with me in English, and it was so cute. It was awesome. And I was like, wow, this is working. My training's paying off. We can do so much now. And something that at this point I'm comfortable sharing is that I've always been manifesting like a career for him too. I want him to rule the world. Like, I get it. When I walked around campus as a student with my dog, people would greet him before me, as did my therapist of 5 years. Like, I get it. He's a fun little guy. And so my manifestation around, like, of course I want to raise money or have money and be able to give money for causes that need it, that I believe in, and that take their donations and use them in the ways that they say they will. And my dream would be able to raise and have enough money to be able to have sway in how people are helping. But anyway, that's down the road. What I'd like to manifest for Mutt, when I'm like, you're going to be famous one day, he gets really excited. It's so funny because he's got such main character energy and he's got so many personalities. And he's just a dog, but man, are people running whole households of income off of dogs these days with the internet. You can do whatever you want. Oh yeah, okay, so I checked my phone at 4 a.m. and I think I saw some video that I had sent a couple of people that I thought was hilarious of one of those it's like a mat on the floor and buttons on it so that your dog can say things. And I can't do that to us because I probably would never leave the house. There's a few other reasons. Maybe eventually Muttley would be ready for a speaking mat. Speaking mat. The guy in the video customized it and he gave it like a bro. He gave it a button to say. Be like, bro. I know, it's bro. And the dog used it for the first time and it's pretty funny. So then I fell asleep after exposing myself to that content momentarily. And dreamed that my dog didn't need the buttons because he could talk to me. But then the dream went another direction. And I was having some type of remote viewing astral thing where this used to happen to me all the time in college, unfortunately, because I'd hear the alarm. And then I'd wake up in my astral body and I'd start brushing my teeth and roving around getting dressed, pretending I had left. And then I was like, damn it, I didn't get my actual body up and I'm still asleep and now I'm late. Unfortunately, if you're adept in astral traveler, you do a lot of it and you remember that, because I believe everybody does, but we just don't remember. If you've integrated enough frequency to be able to remember, that can be very hard. And hormonally and the ages I was at, I required 18 hours of sleep a day when I was in college, but I got 2. And unfortunately, that culture in a lot of, highly geared genius populations, it's people pride themselves on how little, it's just bragging about oh, I'm so under rested, everything's so hard. But obviously there's very serious side effects of all that and stress culture, and we'll talk about that another time. Don't get me started right now. Yeah, so the dream took a turn, and I was kind of just in my apartment, but it was like an astral travel, and so I was not, or I'm sorry, it was a 4D experience, really, where I was like, if I didn't know I was dreaming, I kind of thought it was real life, but I forgot that certain things are not possible in real life because I wasn't that lucid. So it was as if I had gotten up in the night and I was wandering around my apartment, because I do that like pretty much every night, but I was asleep in my bed and I was dreaming. And I wander up to my fish tank and I pick it up as if it weighs nothing. And I come over to my, here, I like to curly up right here. It's a little nest. And then I get to peer out the window and watch cars like a little watcher, because I'm a strange person. And that's called a witch's ball. My aunt sent it to me as a gift in 2020. And I was like, heck yeah, because I read into it. And it was like, put it in a corner. I'll talk about that another time. Anyway, I love it. And I need it in the house, and I recommend that people get them. Maybe I'll try to post a link to wherever that came from, because it's pretty. I have to go pretty soon because all of a sudden I have to pee really badly and I want to stretch and stuff. Change of mood. I had a bunch of other really important stuff that I wanted to say, but basically I was sitting on the couch with the fish tank and it started to jostle, and I tried to make it comfy with all the blankets, and the fish kind of came out and they were on the blankets, and I didn't really know how to deal with that because, to be honest, it was like 5 years ago and I was moving apartments and I was with one of my really good friends and we were going to her boyfriend's. For some reason I had my goldfish in a bowl at the time, and I had it in my arms and I was carrying it across the street. I don't know what I did. I kind of think it was one of those weird like cosmic lightning bolts. Like, I don't know what happened. I just dropped the whole thing and all the glass shattered and my goldfish was like flopping around on the pavement in the shards of broken glass. And it reminds me of a time when my dog got like minorly wounded. Not a big deal, but it was a cut on the ear, and that's a very vascular area and it bleeds a lot. And it was in the winter in Vermont with my mom 5 years ago. Yeah, 2018, but winter, and I was at Vermont with my mom, and we were in the woods with the dog, and he runs into a barbed wire fence on someone's property. Like, we're on a path where we're supposed to be, all's good, but he got himself in a little situation, comes back, and there's blood dots all the way with him. He's trotting, wagging, smiling, couldn't care less, but there's blood also dripping down the side of his fur. I cannot keep my cool. I like fell to my knees and I was sobbing, and my mom's like, Mariah, he's clearly okay. But I was like, we have to go, we have to turn around. And then on the way to the vet, or to the house, we didn't end up going to the vet because he was literally fine, but I was speeding like a maniac and my mom's in the with me. Or not like a maniac, but to be honest, in little country roads in Vermont, it's like 15 miles per hour speed limit, 25 miles per hour speed limit. Maybe I was pushing it at like 44 or 50, but he was bleeding. And we got pulled over, and I was being an absolute drama queen to the cop, because sometimes that works for me. Why lie, folks? Sometimes if you want to for things to go your way, you can, like, I've cried to get out of tickets. I'm sorry for admitting that. But also, I think everybody gets let off with a warning. It's not a manipulation tactic, but perhaps. No, let's not right now. So to the cop, my mom in the passenger seat, I'm like, we have to get home. I'm sorry, but you have to understand. Please look at this dog. He's like my son. And I completely exaggerated the extent of his injuries and the damage he was doing to the interior of my car via blood. And the guy was like, okay, ma'am, chill. And my mom was like, Mariah, chill. And then we drove home slowly. But anyway, when this happened with the goldfish, I was like screaming in the street. And my friend came over, Libra, love her. Picks the thing up and puts it in her water bottle. And I would have never been able to do that on my own. By the way, folks, it's a known fact that like a lot of people in Silicon Valley are just constantly microdosing, and it's productive and stuff. That's referenced all the time in sitcoms if you're not somebody who works at those young startups and knows about that culture. It's not exactly how it's portrayed, but I think there's elements of it, how it's portrayed in movies and stuff. Don't want to go down that one either. Okay, so my very excellent friend came in clutch with the goldfish save. We left all the shards of, that's not true, I actually tried to get some of the major shards of glass that would have been damaging to people's tires. Respect, I'm sorry I did this. Out of the road. Had to like do something with those, and I've shared this as well in the past, but I don't really like broken glass. I have bad history with it for a number of reasons. And yeah, so I did my best. And then so in this dream, I was like, I can't really put these fish back in this fish tank. I'm having a hard time with this. And I was watching them in the blankets, and they, just like the dog, had learned to speak English, and their voices were small and miniature and strange and horrifying, like the voices of like a small creature would be if it could speak English, like a mythical thing, like a garden creature. I don't even know. It was a wild dream. And what was even more horrifying is that I wasn't responding. I was just sitting there in my blankets watching these fish cry out for help, and I was like, I don't know what to do right now. And I was kind of like ashamed of myself and stuff. And I didn't know I was dreaming, but it felt very real. Like, I kind of feel like the fish have like a grudge this morning because I'm psycho. But also I recognize the bleed through that's very real between dimensional realities, as should you. Let's educate ourselves together. Fish are very symbolic for me. Having a fish tank is very meaningful for me because of childhood reasons and what it represented at various points within, you know, my life, my parents' marriage and our household and the aquarium that I had growing up and all of this, and like its level of cleanliness, you know, over time. It's a weird relationship I have to my fish tank because it's such a burden and I don't know much about it. But my dad gave me a book on The Complete Aquarium by somebody, Peter Scott. And so then my dad pulls up in the dream, and he shows up, and he had a different shaped aquarium that was like a rhomboid prism, coolest aquarium I've ever seen. And it had this like yellow acrylic, opaque acrylic material top and bottom, and the bottom was cool. It kind of looked like a pineapple, which is funny. Now I get it because I have tiny pineapples like from SpongeBob in the tank. I got a new catfish. I have to pee, so I have to wrap this up, so never mind. I'll talk about that later. Put a pin in it. My pineapples, nobody cares. Well, it's my YouTube channel. It was 12, and I like that. Having a fish tank is a fraught thing. I think anybody who has fish can... Well, actually, no. People are much better at it than I, which is why my dad showed up. Okay, full circle. Here we are. He brings this kick-ass aquarium, and I was like, love that, thanks. Where'd you get it? Cute. And he pours the whole thing. He picks it up, and he pours it into that one. And he picks up the stragglers and adds them to it. And what was kind of fucked up is that I could see them. Oh, yeah, almost like how it feels if you ever see an animal like a squirrel. I've been seeing squirrels left and right narrowly in front of me in traffic and stuff when I'm out and about. Narrowly missing being hit. I'm always like screaming, cheering for them. And I'm like, go squirrel! It's happened like 4 times in the span of 2 days. I'm your biggest cheerleader, but like, and if they pop out, I'm like, don't go. I'll try to protect them, and this is applied too when I'm on foot with my dog, because I live in an area where like the deer can't see, and like I can, if you feel like you're helpless when you can see like them trying to pop out and go, and the cars who don't know, and it's like I try to flag people down and they think I'm insane. Then they realize it's too late, and I'm like, will it be as a driver when you can only focus on so many things, will I do more damage if I try to flag them down? Maybe I should let the fates work, you know, their way and let this person's eyes remain directly in front of them, because that's where the deer is gonna appear, instead of being like a fucking pop out on a Disney ride. Like, watch out for that, and then they have to go back to the other side. I'm just trying to help. Oof. I've guarded and guided a baby deer into a car wash one time with my dog, and I was sober. No, maybe I was a little stoned, but I was like, this is remarkable. Nobody has ever done this before on Earth. If you have, emailed me. I felt mythical. And Molly was like, what the fuck, Mom, you're supposed to go in here. And I was like, no cars better come. But they'd get it, I guess, if they saw the deer. Good Samaritan stuff, right? Sometimes you have to look a little crazy in public too. But I don't want people to think I'm insane. I can't. Anyway, fish tank stuff resolved. I came on. Let me ground a little bit and wrap up this message because I have to go pee. Stuff in the dreams is really crazy right now. Laughter is medicine, so I hope that listening to me cackle like a maniac improved your mood a little bit. That was the purpose of this. Again, rare form. I don't believe in sharing stuff like this, but I know what level I'm at. I'm pretty conversational and lucid. Just having a good old day off. In fact, everything I was doing got canceled because of snow. Not in enough time, and I went about much of my day in preparations in the way that I needed to be able to do everything, but then it ended up being the most safest thing to just come home and hunker down. And so I went and I played in the field with the dog in the snow because he loves it, and it was cute. We had a great time. And then I was like, I'm gonna have a medicinal afternoon. After I did all my adult tasks and sat down and checked all my boxes. If any adults ever see this, woof. Inner child stuff, folks. I just want to curl up and take care of myself and be silly. I'm allowed. I'm an adult, but I think, well, hi Mom. We had a deep and meaningful chat and I showed her a little bit more about the channel. So if you see this, just know I checked all my boxes and I'm healing. I love you. And I'll respond to your email tomorrow. You don't want me to respond right now. I always want to emphasize that I don't necessarily condone drug use. I think that there are lots of methods available, clinically supported and doctor approved in the realms of microdosing and using certain substances that are becoming more and more decriminalized and legal in order to help your brain chemistry and brain functioning in a way that is not only, I mean, it's miraculous. It's just really, really sad what they've done to this for so long. The world is changing, so just please be mindful, use your discernment. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just a silly little girl in a grown-up body. Try to make the world a kinder place. All right, have a great day. Bye. Thanks.